Suppose you're invited for a private session with several mighty sages. As you sit down in their office, you're greeted with a smile and gently asked what questions you require answers to in order to help you live a better life on this planet. What would you ask? Sure enough, you'll have your own questions and you may want to ponder on them. What would be your top 7 questions for the sages? In this book, 7 of the most frequently life-challenging questions based on research studies are answered. Incidentally, these were the 7 questions I needed to be answered during my conversations with the sages. When I look back at my life and the journey I had to travel before my conversations with the sages, I cannot help asking why I was so blinded to the solutions for all my predicaments. Why I could not see the master key that opens the doors to love, happiness and success, even though it was right in front of me. I cannot ask why I chose the path of self-love, despite experiencing the futility and suffering that comes with it. Why I could not see the inevitable failure that awaits my goal to attain happiness, love and success, if I'm unwilling to align with nature's law of love thy neighbour as thyself. My conversations with the sages have been life-changing. They have marked the beginning of a new era that compelled me to re-engineer a new way of living. They have shifted my paradigm of the world I live in, and they provided a new way of perceiving life and raising consciousness. No longer would I seek materialism over the importance of healthy connection, which in itself is mind-blowing for someone so self-centered, independent, and who frequently devalued the power of connection with others. Every conversation with the sages was a jaw-dropping experience, leaving me with one conclusion. We, as humans, are interconnected. At the core of our being, we share similar sensations, which inevitably lead us to ask similar questions about life. By the time you hit the age of 40, I doubt you will not be asking many of the questions dealt with in this book. By the time you hit 50, your childhood fantasies about life will have been challenged many times over, just as mine were, which led me to find solutions where I least expected. I remember how I prepared myself for these conversations. I have concluded that humans are bedevilled with questions for the most part of our lives when faced with challenges and struggles for which no end is at hand. I've asked many times, why are we so challenged? What's going on? We need answers, and we needed those answers yesterday, yet we cannot find the correct solutions to heal our pain, whether spiritual, physical, mental, or emotional. Why is this happening to us? You may have been down this path as many of my friends and families confessed. They have silently asked similar questions. If only I had met the sages sooner, life could have been different. However, I'm grateful that no matter what my experiences have been, these conversations took place before I turned 50. I'm grateful I still have the opportunity to share some of these conversations with my children. My son in particular has been privy to most of my new findings of life. I love my kids dearly and wanted them to understand how life works, navigate the journey to happiness and success, and avoid the pitfalls of mistakes made by parents and older adults in their lives. Parents are put in the unenviable position of demonstrating a good model to their kids who cannot understand why they fail to perform well. I remembered blaming my parents until I hit the same position where I failed to live the standards expected, and I disappointed my kids. I'm grateful that even my great-grandchildren will benefit from this book, and I hope you, as a reader, and your family will gain the life-transforming benefit it offered me.